Sorry about that. All that was on my end. I do know there's people outside working on the utility pole, and I don't know if that's related or not. Also, it's been a couple weeks since I've rebooted like my modem and my router, so I'm thinking I might want to do that today, but not right now. So, okay, that's just something on my screen. So yeah, this is me getting ready for the stream and checking my audio and all the other things. A lot of Twitch streamers stream for a really long time, which gives everybody plenty of time to trickle in. We don't stream for that long. And the notifications typically don't go up for like 10 minutes or something like that. Like the notifications might not go out as soon as I start. So this is my way of making sure everybody gets here. So, 15 minutes of dogs, 15 minutes of us chatting. Things of that nature. So feel free to ask questions. Feel free to ask questions. Please at me. Just to get in the habit of, adding me when you ask questions. So, let's see. What's all gone on this past week? Because it's been a while since I've seen you guys. I mean, I know you saw me on, like, Saturday, but it's Thursday. So Sunday we essentially took off from streaming-ish. I can't remember if she did the evening stream or not. I know she didn't do painting. So Saturday we streamed for 10 hours. And by we, I really mean Pamela. I was mostly doing things in the background. And Sunday we had breakfast and we recovered and we, worked on getting things ready to be mailed. And pretty much everything's ready to be mailed. The things that aren't ready to be mailed are the things that aren't originating from Pamela's house. So, and some of those, like the meteorites, are ready to be mailed. I just need to get Richard Dunn the addresses. And the only person stuff I am directly in charge of is Veronica Cures because reasons. So, yeah. That's that. That's that. I know, Tinkerbell. But yeah, no, I made sure everything is in boxes. I got customs forms done. All of that. So, yeah, to me that's a good success. And Monday, I went to the City Museum, which is amazing if you've never been. Essentially, it sounds like it's boring, right? Because museum, boring. Tell kids, oh, we're going to the City Museum. Kids go, oh, no. This is a giant playground, both indoors and out. Tanner, my mom, and I went. And this is the second time my mom and I have been. Tanner, because he lives in the area, goes like twice a year. And yeah, it was fun. The last time I went, I didn't have a whole lot of time to explore. I had just finished after conference trip with what would I call that? Planetarium. It was a big planetarium conference. And we just finished after conference trip, and I would have much preferred that the after conference trip was to City Museum, but they try to make it something astronomy related. So we went to the Cahokia Mounds, which I had my camera and it was pretty cool, and I'm glad I went. And yeah, it was neat. So what are you doing, Puck? Are you looking for Cheerios? He's rooting for Cheerios. So yeah, after that, after Cahokia Mounds, we went back to the hotel. Mom and I had dinner, and then Mom and I were like, we're going to the City Museum. So we went to the City Museum. Oh no, Twitch, please don't be twitchy. I'm watching it be twitchy. So, come on. Why are you being twitchy twitch? Hey, Sammy. So, yeah. But yeah, we went to the City Museum on Monday, which, you know, Mom and I had previously done. And I had, oh gosh, we got there shortly after it opened, and we left shortly before they closed. By shortly, I mean with like an hour or two. And yeah, I had a lot of fun. I got to explore way more the inside than I did before, because last time I was more focused on exploring the outside and the roof is amazing. The roof isn't open yet, so yeah, it was cool. And this is a really weird song, so I'm going to skip it. Yeah, things and stuff. So, yeah, and then Tuesday Mom and I drove back, and yesterday was just me recovering, so things and stuff. Tinker, you're like way off base, baby. The dogs messed up their bed. So, yeah, that was my week. It was very quiet and boring, which is just the way I like it. And things and stuff. And I keep looking around, and I don't know what I'm looking around for. So, how was y'all's weekend? Since I didn't get to chat with y'all on Sunday. Also, how many people like watched our stream earlier of Blue Origin? I thought that was pretty cool. I wasn't awake. I'm gonna have to watch the replay. Because replay! As we wait and wait and wait. Part of me is like, I don't know if I'm really high energy today. Woo! Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm still recovering from the weekend and the drive, and oof, there's a lot of stuff. So. Ugh. Rawr, rawr, rawr. I know I see more people calling it or streaming in, but I know that not everybody likes to be called out. People just want to lurk. People just want to lurk. Yeah, weekend drain is a real thing. And poor Tinkerbell. Poor Tinkerbell. My smallest dog, Tinker, for those you don't know, she's a little black and tan one. She has separation anxiety, so things like me going and doing a trip are really, really hard on her. And normally she does okay, but it would have been better if she had just gone to my parents' house and stayed with my dad, because she recognizes dad is like part of the pack, and she's really well bonded with my dad. But yeah, she had a rough weekend. She ate 2 chocolate bars. She got into the trash. She chewed open an empty Cheerio box. I'm not joking. I guess she made a mess everywhere. And yeah, it was real rough, and just freaking out in general. And was it Tuesday night? Yeah, Tuesday night, got home. Favorite Human went to go see the Avengers movie. I haven't seen it yet, but I know. I didn't leave you. I thought about it. I thought about it very briefly about leaving you. But because I would have been home for like maybe a half hour before we would have had to leave for the movie, I didn't want to do that to her, because that probably would have just made her worse. So yeah, she's just kind of chilled out, and you know, we hung out on the couch, and I played games on my phone and things of that nature. So, but yeah, they're much happier, apparently much calmer now that I'm back. So yay! Yay! Oh, I'm just looking at my banana voice meter. So, yeah, but she's doing better now. I see more people pouring in. Hey, Refsmat. Oh, Refsmat, you haven't learned yet. I start way early. We're just hanging out and chilling. We have another 3 minutes to chill. This is literally... I know, I'm explaining it. I have to forgive my dog's interruptions. This is literally my way of giving everybody a chance to kind of stream in and not miss a thing. So, yeah. Paranor says, Annie always likes to ramp up. I also have more time available than Pamela to do this. Like, she's got a gazillion other things going on. Resmat says, I saw an alert at about 10:40 this morning, I think, but it was just a raid. I don't know if we were raided or if we raided somebody else. I think we did raid somebody else after the Blue Origin launch this morning. Oh, we raided, okay. Hey Guido, what's for dinner? Yeah, we did a raid on Timber Anew after Pamela streamed the Blue Origin launch. So, yeah, we did stream this morning, and yeah. Pressmat says, the new Shepherd launch was very nice. I forgot to watch your stream. That's okay, you can watch it later. Video on demand. I honestly was still in bed when I launched. Well, there's still video on demand too. I'd watch it on video on demand before watching it on YouTube. Because reasons. Hey Larry, Weird and Proud. Twitch is just doing the Twitch thing, and should actually probably start getting all my windows ready to chat and things. Some more details on New Glen or Vulcan would be nice. Well, I don't have... We can address that at the end of the stream when I have a chance to look it up. But, I don't know if there are any new details on New Glen or Vulcan. We'll, yeah, we'll look at that. I'll, quite frankly, Google it at the end of the stream, or we'll pull up Rocket Launch Live and see what Rocket Launch Live says. Yeah, so, yeah, VOD for a very short time, because we're an affiliate, 24 hours Twitch has, like, exclusive rights to our stuff, which is why I'm saying watch it on video on demand instead of watching it on YouTube. So, yeah, I looked at all the legal stuff. It's fun. Just remember, kids, don't stream feed on Twitch. Anyways, with that, it's 1 o'clock. So, excuse me, I'm going to kill the music, and we're going to run my super loud video, which I apologize, and I think I have it turned down in the thing. But we're gonna run that once, and then we'll get started, just so there's a nice clear cut for YouTube, even though I'm fairly certain all of this is going to go onto YouTube. Alright, so here we go. Alright, so hi! Welcome everyone. I know, Puck. I'm getting there, okay? Give me 1 second, Puck. I thought this would... I thought this would be a nice transition. Apparently my brain doesn't function. So, hi! Welcome to Daily Space for today, May 2nd, 2019. And things and stuff. I'm your host, Annie Wilson, accompanied by my co-hosts, Tinker and Puck, because, let's face it, they're gonna throw in their own 2 cents, like she's doing now. If you've never watched me do Daily Space before, here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna present some news, and then I'm gonna answer your questions, and then we're gonna chat. So if you have questions, please go ahead and ask them while I'm going over the news at me so I can see it better. My rules for questions are pretty simple. Be respectful. You can ask whatever you want. Please keep it to science. And number 4 is I reserve the right to not answer your question and or be snarky. Also, my wonderful, wonderful mods may actually, mute you or put you in timeout if you get really ridiculous. So those are my rules. And with that, there will be dogs barking. I apologize. It's just how it is. Let's see. What do I have for you today? We're going to talk about 2 or 3 launches that have already happened, a launch that's going to happen, 2 launches that are going to happen, and then some just general, spacecrafty news. So, yeah, let's get at it. I know Tinkerbell. Tinker's like, come on, get with the program, Mom, already. Come on, get with it. All right, so the first launch that happened was on Monday, when I was playing around in the City Museum. So it was a Chinese launch, hence the CNSA. This is their logo up on the screen. They generally aren't the greatest about announcing all of their launches to the world ahead of time. It's just China. They also generally don't live stream their launches because China. And a reminder, if you ever know of a Chinese live stream launch, please let me know, because we will happily, live stream that live stream. Because, yeah, Chinese launches are awesome and kind of rare. So yeah, they launched the, oh my goodness, I need to work on my Chinese, Tianhu 2 mission on Monday at 10:52 p.m. UTC. So we have some footage. So first, this is the rocket that went up. This is a long march for Bravo. And they use the kind of fuel that you don't want to use. Do I have my things? I do have my things. Okay. So they don't use the kind of fuel that a lot of places use. They do use a liquid fuel, but it's, they're kind of poisonous. So this is one of the molecules that's in their rocket fuel, and this is unsymmetrical dimethylhydrazine. And the dimethyl is, because of these black things, they're carbon and they have hydrogen. So this is a methyl group and this is a methyl group. And the hydrazine is literally just these 2 nitrogens together. That's a hydrazine. And there's also this. Well, there was a pretty, circular sphere at the end of that. So there's this. This is 2 hydrogens and 4 oxygens. This is not exactly the most stable stuff. This is a bit more stable. You really don't want to mess with either of these. Oops, sorry about that. For comparison, a lot of the US rockets use, not all of them, because there are some that still use kerosene. But a lot of our rockets use liquid oxygen, which is this, and liquid hydrogen, which is this, which makes water. And I don't know about you, but I'd much rather have the water. But yeah, that's what China uses. It's not pleasant to be around. My understanding is that it's very dangerous. And it also gives their launches kind of a different colored flame. So if you've ever wondered about that, that's what's going on with that. So, and as usual for Chinese launches, debris hit the ground. This is one of the lower stages. The concrete pillar you see in the background actually belongs to a highway. The debris from this launch actually caused traffic to come to a stop for an hour. And yeah, here's a better shot of, you know, debris. There's actually a booster, or an engine, excuse me. There's an engine, it looks like, on the highway. So yeah, they don't for whatever reason, their stuff lands on ground. And I think we've arranged it so a lot of our stuff falls in the ocean, which I'm not saying is better, but fewer humans are harmed that way. I don't know. But they're still kind of working out all of the hard bits for spaceflight, and this is a very, very, very common appearance. Very common occurrence. I actually saw videos of people getting real close to a booster, into an engine. I shouldn't say a booster, I should say lower stage. But I saw people getting really close to debris, and I'm like, no, 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 no. Yeah. So that was the Chinese launch. And I even forget what the satellite was all about, but they launched a satellite. I was so caught up by the debris that I totally forgot to check out the satellite. So the other launch that happened was the Blue Origin launch this morning. That was New Shepard 11. That was a suborbital launch, suborbital flight. They took up, their launch window was anywhere from today to like the 5th. But they took off from the launch pad at Corn Ranch Spaceport. Yes, that's a real thing, in Texas. So that happened at about 9:30 a.m. East Coast time, which would have been 6:30 a.m. West Coast and 13:30, excuse me, was it 13:30? I don't know. Yeah, 13:30 UTC plus 4. 13:30, which is 1:30 p.m. UTC. So this picture is, for those of you that aren't sure, you know, what the New Shepard craft looks like, this picture is of the New Shepard craft. I'm not sure if it's taking off or landing. This is not from today's launch and landing. This is an older photo. So when I did all my research last night, I knew that they were taking up 38 microgravity payloads to space, which they define as most of the world as 100 kilometers above sea level, or the Earth, or however you want to think about that. And I think they're in free fall for something like between 3 and 12 minutes. Maybe the entire thing is 12 minutes, but they're in free fall for a good several minutes. This morning, I was able to get information about some of the experiments that went up, and one of them was for orbital medicine, and that was an experimental treatment for collapsed lung in 0G. Right now, this is a very much gravity-dependent procedure, so this version of this experimental treatment is, I guess, near final. So this is kind of important because you really don't want a collapsed lung in space. And anytime we're going to have long-term missions, we definitely want to make sure we can take care of collapsed lungs. I'm not entirely too sure how that trauma happens, but I know it's a thing that can happen, and you really don't want it to happen. Yeah, so 0G medicine, orbital medicine is super important and awesome. So another one was for a high school. Yeah, really. So the New Century Technology High School in Huntsville, Alabama, sent up a experiment in what Blue Origin calls like a nanolab. So it's very, very small. I don't know exact dimensions, but they sent up a little experiment to test temperature fluctuations in microgravity, which I thought that was super cool. Super cool. And then some of the other experiments that went up were for the MIT Media Space Lab Exploration Initiative. They sent up both science experiments and art projects. Yeah, it's wild. So science includes, and I love these names, they should be allowed to name things more often. So the science includes Queen Bee Maiden Flight, it's Tesserae Self-Assembling Space Architecture, Floral Cosmonauts, Crystal Electronucleation. So that was just the science names. Now check out these art names. Art includes Telepresent Drawings in Space, which used graphite to create a drawing, which apparently can only be done in space. I'm not entirely too sure how they did it. And Living Distance, a spider-inspired robotic dance in weightlessness. Literally a little crystalline robotic device that navigates around in zero gravity. So that's super cool. I did look at the Floral Cosmonauts, which that still makes me happy. The Crystal Electronucleation, that one was, they're just trying to get, how do I explain this? So think of like a root network or neurons in the brain and how things just kind of, or tree branches, that's a good one. How they just kind of go and spread out and things. So they're trying with silver to make very perfect little networks. And I can't remember what the purpose is it for, but it looks really beautiful. Like I would have thought that would have been an art project versus a science project. But I think they're hoping that in 0G they could get a more perfect nucleation going on. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I didn't get a lot of the pictures because we already have a lot of stuff going on, but I definitely encourage you to check it out. Yeah, so last night when I couldn't find information on the experiments, I did find information on how they load the payloads, which I thought was pretty fascinating, and I thought I'd share it with you. So this configuration shows 6 payload stacks, which can carry up to 36 payload lockers. If you remember, what is that sound? If you remember, I said that it carried up to 30. It carried 38 experiments. I guess there's a separate place for the nano labs, but I'm not entirely too sure where in the capsule the nano labs go. And the nano racks, or the nano labs, are held in Nano Racks feather frame, which can hold up to 12 nano labs. When they do crewed flights, it will reduce the number of payload stacks because, you know, they'll put seats out or they'll take payload stacks out and put seats in. So right now, even though they're still, I guess, in the testing phase, I'm really digging how they're able to do science and get a whole bunch of science stuff going while still, you know, essentially making sure that everything's working the way it should before we put people up. Which is really clever because it's not a waste of time, it's not a waste of space, we're still getting things, and yeah, I mean, really important stuff like orbital medicine. So here is one of the racks, and it shows a payload. So the payload lockers, they offer 3 kinds. They offer the single, the double, and then the nano. And then this doesn't show the nano, but this shows 3 singles and a double. And that's pretty much just how they go, are just stacked up little locker-like, and there's power and data connectors. They have all this information on their website. It's a lot. So rather than kind of bombard you with all of that information, I encourage you to check it out because it's a lot of information. But this is just one. This is an example of one of the payload racks inside of the capsule of New Shepard. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Okay, so those were the launches that happened. So now we're on to the launches that will happen. And we've been talking about this SpaceX launch that's upcoming because it's going to happen at an ungodly hour of the morning. We're talking 7:11 a.m. UTC, which is 3:11 a.m. West Coast, and 12:11 a.m. No, 3:11 a.m. East Coast, 12:11 a.m. West Coast. I'm either going to stay up really late or get up really early if I were to cover this. So don't count on me covering this. If it happens, it happens. I would count on it not happening. For those of you that are in parts of the world where this isn't super late at night, check it out. It's a NASA mission to the ISS, and there will definitely be streaming. We just probably won't be streaming because I like sleep, guys. So this one, the latest delay was because of a power outage on the space station. So it was supposed to launch, yesterday? I think it was supposed to launch yesterday. So yeah, there was a power outage which affects it, and I'll get to why that's a big deal in a second. I just wanted to check the weather. Also, according to they removed the weather thing. So yesterday they said the weather was only 40% acceptable. I'm not seeing anything about the weather forecast for tomorrow. So I'm assuming all things are a go. Well, I mean, part of me is like, I'll keep an eye on it, but don't count on it. So the power outage. And this is an old photo. It's just of an empty... No, it's not of an empty. This is the SpaceX Crew Dragon being held by the International Space Station's robotic arm, or the Canada arm. So, this power outage was caused by an old power switching unit that malfunctioned on the ISS on Monday. It knocked 2 of the 8 power channels offline. So the other 6 power channels are operating normally. The astronauts and the cosmonauts are safe. You know, they're going to fix this. But the big thing that this power outage affects is that one of those down power channels was to the Canada arm. The Canada arm requires 2 power channels, one to act up as a backup when it captures spacecraft. And it captures the spacecraft which don't dock automatically, which the SpaceX capsule is one that does not dock automatically. The Soyuz and Progress crafts do dock automatically without the help of the Canada arm. But yeah, we need the Canada arm to capture the SpaceX capsule to essentially force it to dock to the ISS. So, because it doesn't have the redundancy needed to capture the capsule, they're going to repair the faulty power switching unit using the Canada arm because it still has the one power channel. This prevents I wouldn't say prevents. It saves the astronauts from going on a spacewalk, which means we don't have to worry about gear, making sure everything fits, making sure people are trained. Like, they have a spare of this on the space station. They knew it was old. They knew eventually it would go. So yeah, they're just going to use the Canada arm to switch it out, and then once it's switched out and everything's powered back on, should be good to go to catch the SpaceX capsule. And no, I do not know for sure when they're doing this. I imagine that it's either already happened or it's going to happen today, because tomorrow is Friday and they're launching this thing really early in the morning, and I haven't seen anything on yet another slip. So yeah, I imagine this has happened, and I just don't have the information on that. But yeah, nobody's in danger. Nobody's going on a spacewalk. They're going to fix it. It'll be fine. They have plenty of cargo, supplies, because they just got a shipment. So everything's fine. They're going to fix it. Everybody will be fine. Everybody will be fine. So the other launch that's coming up is Rocket Lab, and that's on May 4th at 6 a.m. UTC, which is 2 a.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. on May 3rd for the West Coast. Again, I have no idea if I'll be streaming this because that's really late for me. Like, I'd still be awake, but I'd be kind of teetering on collapsing. And since this is on the 4th, I mean, part of me is like, I could do it. I could do it and just sleep all day Saturday so I can stream on Sunday. So, I honestly don't know if I'm going to stream this one. But in the grand tradition of Rocket Lab naming launches and missions, this mission has been named, That's a Funny Looking Cactus. Oh, Rocket Lab, I heart you. So here's their mission patch, which I'm just in love with. So, and they actually broke it down so I don't even have to think about it. So you have the 3 flying birds for the 3 satellites that are on board, the cacti in the stone formation, a nod to New Mexico, home of STP's base in Albuquerque, New Mexico, Kiwi bird, because New Zealand, stars, 1 for each Electron launch, including this mission. So yeah, there's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I guess the bright yellow one is the one for the 6th mission. Green chili, because they're a big deal in New Mexico. And Roadrunner, the state bird of New Mexico. So yeah, I love this mission patch. They will sell the mission patches after the launch. They're selling t-shirts now. They actually have t-shirts for like all of their old missions, which makes me happy. Makes me happy. Okay, so let's talk about what's going on in this mission. So here's a picture of, I guess they're inspecting the fairing that's covering the payloads, and you can see on the side the DoD space test program, because yeah, at least 2 of these are indeed, all 3 of them might actually be R&D satellites, but at least 2 are from the military. So we have, I'm trying to decide which order I want to go in these. Let's go smallest to largest, shall we? So Falcon ODE, that's Oscar Delta Echo, which stands for Orbital Debris Experiment, is a 1-unit CubeSat, which weighs a kilogram for Americans. That's a 1-liter bottle or half of a 2-liter bottle. It's going to provide calibrated radar and optical targets, or to provide calibrated radar and optical targets for ground-based space situational awareness sensors. It will also be used for training purposes at the U.S. Air Force Academy, where apparently it was also built. So that's cool. So the next largest one is Spark 1. That's Sierra Papa Alpha Romeo Charlie -1, which this is what it stands for: Space Plug and Play Architecture Research CubeSat. The first one. So this is a 6-unit CubeSat form factor. They didn't give an exact mass. It could be up to 12 or 13 kilograms. Americans, that's 6 2-liter bottles, or 6.5 2-liter bottles. This is actually a U.S. and Swedish military research project. And the goal is essentially to speed up satellite deployment. It's based on another program, and there was a lot. There's way more to this than what I'm telling you. So the largest one, so we have the 2 teeny tiny little CubeSats. The largest one, weighing in at 150 kilograms, or for Americans, that's 75 2-liter bottles, is Harbinger, which is proof of concept for a satellite bus. And that's really, it has a payload on it, but that's essentially, that's what the idea is. They want to create this new backbone body, base to put payloads on, and that's essentially what a satellite bus is, and they just want to test it out. So that's what's going on with that. There's construction going on outside again. Okay, so that's what's went up. That's what's going up. Yeah, this is kind of a long stream for me, huh, guys? And next, this is just a drill. The following is just a drill. This is not a real thing. I want to make this abundantly clear that what I'm going to talk about next is just a training exercise and is not really happening. Okay? I'll give you a second to process that. Alright, this is just a drill. So a bunch of people are pretending that an asteroid is going to hit the Earth. Why? The International Academy of Aeronautics Planetary Defense Conference is this week, and they've done this kind of exercise 3 times previously. And it does stress on the website, although the scenario is realistic in many ways, it is completely fictional and does not describe an actual potential asteroid impact. Again, this is just a drill. Alright, with that clearly stated, we're going to move on to the other slides I have for about this. So this, I guess, is the red dots is the potential impact path, or one of the impact paths that they had come up with. A quote I pulled, which I thought was kind of funny, was from Paul Chodas, the director of the Center of Near-Earth Object Studies at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, who is also the creator of this exercise, says the asteroid is not in a convenient orbit at all. It's not like one of those asteroids that we go to with our science missions where you pick a nice asteroid that's easy to get to. In planetary defense, the asteroid picks you. So this is a week-long exercise that's using engineers and scientists from all over the world, working in a realistic timeline and international decision-making and things. And let me copy the link. There's a lot going on, and they have it broken down day by day. They have briefings for every day. I'm going to post the link to chat in a second. There's the link. So, yeah. It's super cool. Shh. I know, I heard it too, Tinker. It's super cool. So this is just an image from their exercise slides, and I know it's kind of hard to see. It was not made well, but notice the exercise in the bottom corners to make it very clear that this is an exercise. So they have the asteroid orbit, the Earth orbit, the sun, where the Earth is, where the asteroid is, and they actually have it's really faint and hard to see, but the Mars orbit, because it does actually cross Mars's orbit as well as a possible impact. So in this exercise, they discovered this fictional asteroid March 26, 2019, and they are in this exercise preparing for impact of this fictional asteroid April 29th, 2027. And they actually have it broken down in all of their things by years and days and things of that nature, and it's pretty cool. For those of you that have any military experience, drills and exercises are a way of life. This is a normal thing to be doing because you practice for the things you don't think you're going to be doing. And yeah, hopefully this will never happen. But if it does, we at least have some experience. Like I said earlier, they've done this two or three times before, and it was very successful, and they've learned a lot. So yeah, exercises are important, drills are important. This is not a real thing. Don't panic. But yeah, I mean, the headline of NASA is pretending an asteroid's going to hit the Earth is hilarious. So, yeah. Yeah. All right. So, no, I know. It's not a real asteroid. It's a fictional asteroid. Have some Cheerios and be quiet. Okay. So, pulling up CNSA again. So, now you're all like, what's the Chinese Space Agency gonna do now? They want to visit Earth's pet asteroid. So we have a quasi-satellite that is not the moon. I can't pronounce the assigned name, like the official assigned name, but the provisional name is 2016 H as in hotel, O as in Oscar 3. So I apologize. There's apparently construction going outside of my house. So it's a quasi-satellite. It's not the moon. This image shows the Earth's orbit around the... Ah! I know! I'm trying to explain the image. The Earth's orbit around the sun, and then the satellite's orbit around us. It's been in a stable... I am so sorry, guys. There are things that are out of my control, and this is one of them. Ah! So it's been in a very stable orbit around us for the past couple of 100 years, I think, and will continue to be in a stable orbit for a while. Oof. And China wants to do like what the Japanese have done and what we're doing right now, which is, I know, I'm getting there, which is go visit this asteroid and bring some samples back. So yeah, that's cool. I just found it interesting because this is an asteroid that's kind of our moon, but not out of our moon, but not our moon. And I think it's actually defined as an Apollo object. So here's an image that is literally the definition of an Apollo object. Things in the green area are Apollo objects. I've already forgotten what the H is. V is Venus. Da 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 da. E with the blue line and ball is us, the Earth, and M is Mars and Mars orbits. So, trust me, you wanted me to be muted. And I think I'm still gonna have to get up and pick up some dogs. So, I am so sorry about all the things. Yeah, I guess H is Hermes and Mercury And I guess they are using it because M is claimed by Mars. So, cats are quieter. I know cats are quieter, but unfortunately I have 2 dogs and a cat. So, now's the time to ask questions. I'm going to scroll as far back as I can to catch any questions, and we will answer them together. Hopefully in the meantime, my dogs are not going to bark a lot. So, Stormer Joe asks, you feeling a bit mellow today with that music you were playing? I really don't have a lot of control over the music. I pick that. Don't start. I don't have a lot of control over the music. I just pick like a mood on Pretzel, and it does it for me. So I can like and dislike things, but that's about all I can do. Refs Matt says, I think Blue Origin is planning on making a big announcement later this month. Who knows what it'll be? May 9th, possibly. Okay, I will remember to check that out. You can go and get the Cheerios on camera. Be cute. Oh, more bits. Somebody felt bad for you, and I think there were bits that were given during the broadcast, and I just didn't stop. Sell Puck. He's too busy looking for bits. Sorry, Trucker. Tinker's looking. Tinker, can you speak? Tinker's like, no. Anyways, so here's the Cheerios, and make it rain! So thank you for the bits. Bad Panda Bear says, the twinkling stars in the intro animation makes me think there's a cloaked Klingon bird of prey. I did not mean to make you think that there's a cloaked Klingon bird of prey. I thought it was a really cool effect. It took me, oh gosh, I think it took me a whole day to figure that one out. Whole day. Astro YYZ says, you'd think they'd want their citizens to know that big poisonous rocket bits are going to fall from the sky. That's in reference to the, let's see if I can pull it back up. That's in reference to all the debris that China had. Because, you know, China, for those of you that missed it, here's a picture of the debris. And yeah, they use kind of nasty things. This is, I can never remember the formal name, but it's 2 nitrogens and 4 oxygens. And then this is unsymmetrical dimethyl hydrazine, excuse me. Those are not chemicals you want to mess with. And yeah, their spacecraft debris pretty much lands where people are, which is deeply disturbing to me. Any footage of the spent Chinese rocket stage crashing out of town? I think there was. I just didn't include it because there's so much on the, on the stuff actually crashing, which part of me is like, yeah, this is great. And I don't think Chinese censors have taken any of it down. I don't know if they're going to, but yeah. Blue Origin used that last morning, and you have with solar power. I'm not sure which fuels you're talking about. Ironheart had asked, do they use the same toxic fuel, meaning the Chinese, for human launches? Refs Matt said yes they do, which I'm like, oh my goodness. And I think China is working on doing reusable rockets. I only have so much bandwidth to consume X amount of space stuff at once, and I'm still kind of stuck on space toilets, so it might be a while before I have that extra bandwidth to actually do. Resmat says, China built their rocket launch sites thousands of kilometers from the ocean because they decided to make it difficult to attack them, which is not a bad thing. Really? I mean, there's some logic to that. Bees in space. Yes, Esther YYZ. Bees in space. Resmat says, Brenda wants to know how many BGs they were feeling. Oh my goodness. Hanny says, is this where all the rocket scientists send their kids? Probably that high school? Sure, why not? Oh my goodness. I don't know. I don't know how many bees they sent up. I really don't. And Ed pops in with a random fact. Huntsville, Alabama is Werner von Braun and company got our space program going. There are more engineers per capita there than anywhere else in the country. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And yes, YYZ points out the band OK Go is promoting an art and space competition with Blue Origin. They are. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait. Yes, Space Camp is in Alabama. Guido says, this is like the server rack space market for rockets. Yes, actually, whoever makes those... Oh, shoot. There are people that actually make... There's a whole company dedicated on the nano labs and the other mounts, and they're essentially working with Blue Origin. I wouldn't be surprised if they're also owned by Amazon, but I'm not going to probe deeply into that. Too deeply into that one. Yeah. Michael T. Mayer says, I think the Dragon takes about 2 days to get to the ISS. Maybe. I think... No, that was Cygnus that we had a rather quick... that had the same day. It could be... it could be faster. I think it depends on the orbits that are chosen. Larry asked, does everyone share all 8 channels on the ISS, or are there Russia and US power channels? Are they the same voltage, AC or DC? I have no idea. That is a very good question. That is beyond my knowledge of the space station. Again, I've been focused on toilets, because toilets. Yeah. So thank you for the follow. I'm not even sure how to pronounce that. Thank you for the follow, Tube. Since, you know, you missed it earlier, we're gonna do Cheerios just for you. Oh, look, more bits! More bits, dogs! I'm gonna have to... Do I have more Cheerios? I do. Alright, so here's the Cheerios for Tube for the follow, and make it rain! And here's the bits for... Here's the Cheerios for the bits, and make it rain some more! All right. And yes, in the simulation, the asteroid was supposed to land in Denver, and I think it used a picture of MU 2018, 2016? I think it used an image of essentially the thing that New Horizons just flew by. So, there is indeed an orbit, or there is indeed an asteroid that could potentially be a problem. Favorite Human was telling me about it this morning. We don't always know when near Earth objects are going to hit, so yeah. Tube asks, do Cheerios really help with the barking? Sometimes yes. Yes, they do, because they are very food-oriented dogs, and they want their Cheerios, so yeah, as you can see, they're going to sniff to make sure they got every last one. And I think I'm catching up. Hanny says, you have a cat? I guess it's Shy. I do have a cat. He's only shown up on stream twice. He likes to hang out in other parts of the house. He really makes his presence known when he's hungry, which is fine. He's a really old cat. He and Puck don't get along. Oh, more bits. More bits, guys. Puck, can you speak? Puck, speak. Come on, speak. All right. Puck says thank you. I say thank you. Here are the Cheerios and make it rain. Yeah, I do have a cat. He doesn't get along with Puck. Puck likes to chase the cat. The cat doesn't like to be chased. He really only makes his presence known when he's hungry, and he hangs out in other parts of the house. He's probably sleeping on the bed right now, and I'm not going upstairs to go drag him out, because, yeah. Hannies. Oh, 25 bits for catnip instead of Cheerios. I actually bought treats for the cat, and I left them where the dogs could get them, which is higher up than you'd think. And they ate all the cat treats. So I'm gonna try again for probably kind of a pasty, liquidy cat treat, because he has no teeth. So, Henny's asked, do we have any other satellite-like objects, maybe something stuck in our Lagrangian points? That's also another really good question that I don't know the answer to, and we'd have to Google. And that might take a bit for me to find. Oh, DPI says yes. There is an object that we do have that's a... I bet we have plenty of quasi-satellite objects. You guys are amazing. Chat, you guys pull up so much information before I even get to there. Hanny says one of the bees in MIT's big experiment should be named Buzz Aldrin. I guess. DPI says, hey, we have May. Are we still dreaming of April? I mean, maybe. I haven't updated my layout yet, guys. I was more focused on making sure my slides were done and camera lighting was right and getting ready than making sure my layout's fixed. So I'll fix it. And as a side note, thank you to everybody for your generosity during our celebration stream. So yeah, thank you. I'll talk more about that in a second after, because I'm still not at the bottom. Let's see, caught up with refs mats. Bits, I know, Tinker. And when I left Dallas for Austin, I felt like the lower IQ of both places. Oh my. Cheerios, heck yeah, too. We show our thanks by, you know, sharing the cuteness. And my dogs are, he's not staring directly into the camera, but my dogs are notorious to stealing souls. They're not quite on point. They're not quite on point, but they're. But yeah, they're good for stealing souls. They're slowly learning that the longer they stay on camera, the more Cheerios they get. So, okay, so now I'm at the very bottom. Oh. Ed, did I miss your bits? You know what? I'm worried that I missed Ed Thompson's bits, so we're gonna do this. So here's this, and make it rain! And now I officially have to pull down more Cheerios because my box is empty. So, Trekker Kev says JWST, maybe? Oh my goodness. Let's not talk about JWST. So, I saw something about civilian-friendly... Hard to bark with food in the mouth. I saw something about civilian-friendly space toilets. Yeah... I don't know if we'll ever have civilian-friendly space toilets. I know on Space Lab and on the Space Lab, on the shuttle, but definitely Space Lab, there was definitely a seat that you sat onto and it helped. There's a seat bit that helped position you, and you had bands or like arms that went over your legs to kind of keep you in place, and I don't think a camera was involved for training. Space Lab was also huge on the inside, and I'm kind of envious of that. Oh, okay, so what else did I say I'd chat about? Oh, yes. your awesome, awesome generosity. I know the thing is still showing up at the bottom of the screen. I will fix it later today. But thanks to your generosity, I know I'm getting there. Have some patience. Thanks to all of you guys' generosity, I'm funded for sure through July, so that's super cool. That's super, super cool. We're still working on getting grants. There's a lot of things going on. I have potentially more of a full-time job offer / opportunity. I was essentially asked to send in my CV. So, yeah. Cool things are happening. You guys are helping us stay on and helping us stay on track. It's exciting. So, yes. Thank you all for everything. Yeah. Also, you know, team moved to St. Louis, but really Edwardsville is getting larger every time I go out to Edwardsville, and it's hilarious to me. It's hilarious to me. For those of you that don't know, I live in Youngstown, Ohio, in the Rust Belt. Pamela's in Edwardsville, Illinois, which is just outside of St. Louis. And yeah. So yeah, we're doing this from like two very distinct locations, which is why like our layouts and things look different. Somebody's like, someone send bits, the dogs are stealing souls again. Give me 1 second. And she's also staring at the door. In 1 second, and I'll pull down more Cheerios. Oof. Oh, and yes, it gets green screened out. Will St. Louis swallow Edwardsville? I don't think so. Tink demands an offering. She does, and she's being so good. So she's getting an offering. I don't think it'll swallow Edwardsville. There's enough space in between the two that it shouldn't happen anytime soon. Edwardsville is definitely very distinct from St. Louis, so it's pretty neat. It's close enough to St. Louis to do things, but there's like, you need to go to the hospital. You don't necessarily have to go to St. Louis. Which is not like the suburbs of Youngstown here, where actually, yeah, no, if you need a trauma hospital, you actually have to go into Youngstown. So give it time, Annie. It will become one. It probably will. All right. So any other questions? Yeah, Walker points out, Mythtown points out, I've seen what happens out west is just Sacramento is both a city and a county, and things just kind of ran into each other. So at some point, you know, it's just one big metropolitan area, which, yeah. I know. Well, Puck's stealing souls now, so he gets Cheerios. So, any other questions? 'Cause I'm going to start the station identification things and of that nature. So, yeah, ask questions now. If there's any at the end of my station identification, we'll answer them. And if I've forgotten something, please remind me, because that happens. So, yeah. So, hi. This has been Daily Space. Which is part of CosmoQuest, and we stream every Sunday through Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern, which right now is 1700 hours UTC. And I am Annie Wilson. I am not an astronomer. I know enough astronomy to be dangerous. And yeah, hashtag ask me about space toilets. So Sundays is myself streaming colorizing space telescope data. I think right now we're working on Hubble stuff. Maybe it's not Hubble stuff. But it's space telescope data anyways, because the pictures that come down that we're so used to, that come down, brains are not working well. So the pictures, the beautiful Hubble pictures that we're used to seeing, they don't come down out of the space telescopes like that. They come down in grayscale and they have to be colorized. So that's what I do on Sundays. Monday through Friday is this Daily Space, your daily-ish news roundup of astronomy and space things. When I host, we talk about spacecraft, because spacecraft, why not? If you ever miss an episode of Daily Space, we archive pretty much everything on YouTube. And if you're not already following us on Twitch, you probably should be, because we can't always predict when rocket launches are going to happen, and we don't have any scheduling control over that, and they happen at pretty random times of the day. Plus, sometimes there's just, random follow. You'll get notifications of when we go live with space streams and all that other things. So, I'm trying to keep going through all the things. There's a lot of things, guys. So yeah, we are brought to you by you. So yeah, thank you for all of your donations, your subs, your bits, your pledges on Patreon. Thank you for all of that. And if you can't afford to do that, like I said, just give us a follow. Follows are free. Follows help. You can also subscribe to us on YouTube, which helps us on YouTube to get our, accurate videos a higher ranking in the searches than some not accurate ratings. We also sell merch at Redbubble. The proceeds from that also go to supporting us. So yeah, thank you to everyone that's ever done any of that, and thank you to anyone who's just tuned in and joined for the ride. If you want to chat with us outside of Twitch, join our Discord server. That's also free. There's memes, there's dog pictures, there's random stuff. Sometimes we play games. And yeah, good things and stuff and fun. I think that's everything, guys. I think that's everything. So now we're going to more bits. Thank you, Bombadil. Was Tinker stealing souls? Tinker was stealing souls. Oh, thank you, DPI. Thank you for reminding me. So yes, our host institution for CosmoQuest is Planetary Science Institute, which is in, wait for it, Tucson, Arizona. Yeah, I know, right? Working in collaboration with Youngstown State University here in, I think it might actually be summer-ish weather, Youngstown, Ohio. And yeah, where laws allow, because PSI is a 501c3 organization, your donations are tax deductible. So that's super cool. And I think really that's all. I think that's all of the things. That's a long list. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to awkwardly roll the credits, because that's what I do. And we're going to raid somebody. So while I get the credits ready to roll, please suggest somebody to raid. If nobody suggests anybody, I'm just going to pull somebody from the Knowledge Fellowship, which we are a member of. And I essentially ask that it's science related and family friendly, because yeah, family friendly. I'm not seeing any suggestions. I see Oh Bother is live, or was live. I don't know if Oh Bother is still live. And Jesse Skinner also looks like they might be live. So yeah. Trekker Kev asked whether I was covering the Sierra SpaceX 17 launch. Oh my goodness, that's the one. That's the one that's super early. I'm not making any promises. If I'm still awake, oh, 3:11 EDT. See, I'm usually passed out. No, I'm in Eastern time zone, but I would be starting at 2:11. I would be starting at least by 2 a.m. Let me tell. Oh bother is not family friendly. Oh bother is more family friendly than some. But yeah, you're right. Jesse Skinner, I think, is family-ish friendly. So how about this? He's PG-13. So, as everybody as everybody debates whether or not Oh Bother is family friendly, he's PG-13. He doesn't discuss things that are illegal federally at the national level. Why are you climbing the wall looking for bits? And yes, as Hanny says, it depends on what his subscribers are named, because the thing. Yeah. Yeah. Things and stuff. So, as far as that SpaceX stream, I'm not making any promises. If I am still up at 2 a.m., whatever day that is, tomorrow? Is that tonight or tomorrow? Is it technically tonight? I think it is technically tonight. If I'm still up and home and feeling like I can stream, it'll happen. Otherwise, don't count on it. Favorite Human is off today. We might go do, fun things, and I might just not feel like streaming later tonight. So, yeah. I make no promises. Yeah, catch it in the reruns. So, alright. Let's do Jesse Skinner then, I guess. Because Oh Bother is hilarious, but I guess Jesse Skinner only has like 7 people watching. So yeah, let's raid Jesse Skinner. Okay. So with that, I don't see any other questions that I can answer. I'm gonna roll the credits and then we're gonna raid, and I'm gonna figure out what I'm doing for the rest of the day, because yeah. Alright, so thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you for putting up with my dogs and the construction outside, and I will see you soon. Bye! Oh my god, where's the